Hello and welcome to Bhutan This Week, our weekly news magazine program. I am Sharab Dorji. These are our top stories from the week. The National Council poll day is on 20th April. Government invites former ministers to refund state fund used for their private residences. And thousands in Shemgang are waiting for their citizenship identity cards. Now the details. His Majesty the King issued a royal decree calling for the National Council elections 2018. As per the Royal Kasho, the poll day is on 20th April.
Dre meong adarem buchigi shable kachap sergi katham chamodi de zaktui lencholu de zaktui gyong chogdegi zaktui nitong jobgidi go chugube de dare nai se junila da kachap didati de zaktui nimdi jida shibegi jite catchil inse de zaktui lachardinalu zomdo disunam golden tabli 때 demgogi 이차대서 남피니나 때 전염 가설배 때 귤레기 디체다 때 dem독 적인 디체 따니기 디체 가설배 때니 잡레데날로 오세 기용로 다친디 나바페니 세슈니.
Prime Minister Rajnath Singh said the security measures at his private residence was put in place as required by the Security Protocol 2014 despite his resistance. He also added that the Royal Audit Authority did not question the use of public fund. In the wake of the opposition alleging the Prime Minister of misusing public resources for private benefit, the Prime Minister said the government is disappointed that the opposition raised this issue only as a reaction to the allegations against the former minister, Samba.
They have claimed misuse of public resource for private benefit. And they have called it a serious corruption. When the Royal Audit Authority has never mentioned that. In spite of that, and in spite of the fact, the Royal Audit Authority has not said it's misuse of public resources, and the Royal Audit Authority did not ask to recover the money. I voluntarily reimbursed the money.
The government will now ask the Royal Audit Authority to investigate security arrangements made to the Prime Ministers and Ministers of the past and the present.
Danisu tinga magau nge maramdi me dokcho sokba khora sake dobate khora noksa lejme tandigibe da ngaragi thaka hibdalu te jungi serodi te tamidi chulmen da thudigibe zero tanuse 때 뚜룽하게 록뒤누세 공기 시지라 시에드르 베스지루 사게디로 남남사로 두바테 사게 아님지 람달루 때 가치기에 코는 접조 배고베 아니 배울레 땐디기베 니똥 숨레 구수디기베 때 렘포남 수기 때 거라기 때 컴파운드 월 차찹다 때 년숭기 자리 차찹 딜레 num코르수 때 렐렘수 가라 때 술면기 톨레베 때 라베보 때 imagine 때 독초 속반하면 섬이 사게 주시고 때 같이 코너 접촉 뱀이 있으시니.
He added he already returned the public money used for constructing security arrangements at his private residence. On the other hand, the government invited the former Prime Minister and the ministers to return funds used to make security arrangements at their private residences.
다 독초 속박이 해말 렘포드 렌체드 가라기 때빼 당할 따디기베 록 종루 뚜루 가라 삼베 록 퓨 노이기 레와유 세슈니 겔중 시집 왕진기 코라기 십지디 배웅 때디 십지디 가데베 텐더루 베위 강할레라 때 뒤틀레라 때 뚜루 때디 록드라 때 종루 퓨 노이기 레와유 세슈니.
As requested by the opposition, the government will soon publish the records of the benefits, customs duty and sales tax on imports from third countries and India accrued to major industries, businesses, hotels from 2008 to 2018. Sharab Dorji, PBS News. At the press conference, the Prime Minister also said the opposition's claims of the government being politically motivated in alleging former Minister Samba of policy corruption is undermining both the government and the Anti-Corruption Commission. He added the opposition is trying to divert attention of the public from the corruption scandal by mentioning about helicopters, power tillers and central schools. The Prime Minister said based on first impression, the government should have directed the Office of the Attorney General to file a case in the Court of Law against the former Works and Human Settlement Minister, Samba. The government deliberately chose to send the case to the ACC to rule out political motive.
This politically motivated allegation is directed to the government, yes, to undermine the government, but also directed to ACC. This is a message to the Anti-Corruption Commission that they are almost telling the Anti-Corruption Commission, you should not investigate the case because it is politically motivated.
Rajnath Singh also said that the government is trying to fight corruption and it is wrong of the opposition to say it is setting unhealthy precedents.
One case on one man. And they talk of this is the repercussion. Not that we are fighting corruption, not that in the future everybody would be on their toes, but that the president's unhealthy, investor confidence is undermined, atmosphere of social distrust, disharmony, disunity.
On the Druk Finsum Tsokpa questioning the timing of the corruption claims, the Prime Minister told the members of the media that the Finance Minister pointed out the issue in August 2015. The same issue was discussed during the 10th sitting of the Second Parliament. Sharab Doji, PBS News. Thousands of people in Jamgang are eagerly waiting for their identity cards. They say it has been more than 2 years since they processed for their identity cards. With elections fast approaching, locals think the cards should be in their hands by now.
Many people in Jamgang said it is taking too long. More than 10,000 people processed for their identity cards, but today, just over 4,000 received their cards.
Niktong changale mahe, the niktong chudu le sachi tabbe, the mahela, the niktong changale chudu job din job give the losum di jome, the ngepardo nashin disulugo, the identity card la, mikungotela kedi, the dang acheregi, chisok nipegi, the saktu di rendo, the ani remdalu, tingachi rinu bemi disugia, the mahe, the ani di kadibi ina, tingachi misin yamchungi, the shuatar duila.
Identity card mission ale top masulinga chigate masuwa, the Garichi lab di bero the license sonigi go with large layochi sini bero the identity card mebele den desichi mapalara matus sunivela.
Nalipa beochi nashin disu class chunita di chutamta di da layune joigan di lama to bi kangil dula ajiki mi bi kangil di kachi labir pin mi to be sunila
the datusun migongotole di yale nata minduk da hanibe dalo ngachi misidus napso kangil tindi se sunibila joksochibe the ngachi gi soji marimgi hemala the party nangtapti yubachi namsame karin chinime se sunibila.
Meanwhile, the Dzongkhag Civil Registration and Census Officer said he's in Thimphu to print the remaining cards and refused to comment further. Jamgang has a population of over 27,000. The issue is now expected to be discussed in the ongoing Dzongkhag Tsokdu. For Pema Samrup in Jamgang, this is Tanden Finso for BBS News.
High Court conducted the rebuttal and preliminary hearings for the 3 embezzlement cases related to Desung training program on Monday. There are some 15 cases allegedly involving 40 people.
The military court passed the judgment in December. Unhappy with the military court's decision, the accused appealed to the High Court. Several hearings have been going on since then. 15 army officers, 9 non-commissioned officers and 16 shopkeepers were found guilty by the military court in December last year. They are charged with embezzlement, aiding and abetting and solicitation. Some 11 million yutam is suspected to have been embezzled. The prosecutors from the Royal Bhutan Army said they stand by the judgment passed by the military court. They said the decision was made following due process as per the Civil and Criminal Procedure Code of Bhutan. During the hearing today, the army prosecutors added that the accused have failed to follow due process while handling the Desung Fund. One of the officers who stand accused said he made adjustments as per the order from superiors while procuring some prohibited items. Some said they were sentenced without any proof beyond reasonable doubt before the court. One of the accused said he was not allowed a legal representative. One of the non-commissioned officers submitted that he was directly sentenced without any hearings and cross-examination in the military court. The army prosecutors requested the court to accept the military court's judgment. The High Court will conduct the next hearing on Monday. For Chengadoji, this is Pemal Hardin for BBS News.
The Anti-Corruption Commission says the former CEO and the Executive Director of Royal Insurance Corporation of Bhutan should refund close to 3 million yutam to the institution. The Commission charged the two former executives along with 8 other individuals for irrational financial transaction. The Office of the Attorney General is reviewing the case.
According to the investigation report, the former chief executive officer will have to refund nearly 400,000 yutam, while the former executive director will have to refund over 2.4 million yutam to the Royal Insurance Corporation of Bhutan. Investigation report states the RICBL invested 100 million yutam at 9% interest rate in Nubri Capital Private Limited on 5th February 2013. Then after 3 days, Nubri Capital reinvested 108 million yutam at the rate of 11% in RICBL. These investments were carried out without approval of the board or the investment committee. Nubri Capital Private Limited is a private fund management company. The report also says the former executive director was one of the promoters of the company and holds 10% of the total shares. Reports say this investment is against the regulation for issue of corporate bond 2012. Bond redemption fund cannot be invested in a fund management company. All 10 individuals are also charged with failure to declare conflict of interest, forgery, commission and omission amounting to abuse of function, and participation in offence as per the ACC's Act 2011. Meanwhile, the two former executive heads of the RICBL were relieved from the service since last month. Anti-Corruption Commission started the investigations after receiving an anonymous complaint in April 2015. For Chengadoji, Pupgem for BBS News.
The Tourism Council of Bhutan will impose severe penalty on Amankora, a foreign direct investment hotel. This is following the recent incident where a French artist who visited Bhutan as a guest with Amankora evoked local resentments by his graffiti art pieces at sacred sites in Paro, Thimphu and Punakha. The council wrote a letter to Amankora last week seeking explanations on the matter.
The art pieces are now removed, but a few days ago, these graffiti art pieces, specifically at sacred sites, annoyed the locals. The French artist posted these pictures on Instagram. He had his graffiti art pieces at quite a few locations in the country, some of which received a lot of disapproval. Of all, his art pieces placed on the walls of sacred sites like Cheri Gumpa and Achote on Route Taksang received the most criticisms. A few Bhutanis used social networking sites to pour out their resentment. The Tourism Council says what the artist has done is against its rules and regulations.
It is the responsibility of our tour operator and the guide to ensure that these things don't happen. Firstly, the tour operators will have to brief tourists what are the expected norms out of a tourist. And of course, the guide, it's with the tourists most of the time. So it's the responsibility of the guide at the same time to actually ensure that these things don't happen. So even under them, this has happened. Obviously, we will, after the investigation, will take actions.
As per the rules and regulations, tour operators and guides are to brief the tourist on matters which are culturally, spiritually and environmentally sensitive. The council said the tour operator can be liable to penalty ranging from a fine of 25,000 yutam to cancellation of their licenses. Pupgem for BBS News.
Schools vulnerable to earthquake will receive decks resilient to such a disaster. The Education Ministry introduced the furniture from Wangdi Gassal Primary School in Phinsuling.
To start with, the school received 30 decks.
It's being put in your classroom, right?
Yes, sir. Students also practiced dug, hold and cover, a mock drill for earthquake.
They say the decks are stronger and we will be safe under it. We are happy to have one. It is also comfortable while studying.
We are more happy that our school is the first school to get it. We are told that these decks are much stronger. We feel safe even if earthquake hit us.
The school will receive 70 more decks soon. 2 schools in Samsi will also receive 50 such decks each. Designed in Israel, a local manufacturer is making the decks.
Compared to the standard decks and furniture we are using today in the schools, this can withstand an impact load of more than 422 kg, which we did a test during our phase 1 test. This would even become safety devices for the school.
The Education Ministry plans to provide such facilities in all schools at risk across the country. Joe Hazard's International provided the financial support for the project. Pamela Hardin for BBS News.
The iconic Longton Samba bridge in the capital will be replaced by a new one during the 12th five-year plan. Construction of the bridge is Tomde's plan activities for the next 5-year plan, and construction works are expected to begin from the second year of the 5-year plan.
Located at the heart of town, the 23-year-old bridge does not meet the standard of the modern-day bridge. The old Samba bridge, also known as the Bridge of Prophecy, is now riddled with numerous cracks. Poor condition of the bridge causes inconvenience to both the commuters and pedestrians during the rainy season.
These reasons have prompted us to give top priority to rebuild the bridge during the 12th five-year plan. With increase in more vehicles, the new bridge will be a double-decker road bridge which will help in solving many problems. The bridge will be properly constructed for both resilience and design.
The new bridge is estimated to cost around 700 to 800 million Newton.
During 11th plan, the Gross National Happiness Commission allocated 2 billion Niltram. In the 12th plan, the JNHC plans to allocate a total budget of 5 billion Niltram to the local government. So considering the importance to rebuild the bridge, we have projected 700 to 800 million for the reconstruction of the bridge.
The current bridge was built in 1995. With additional information from Kilidem, Rajnath Singh, BBS News.
People now have an option when it comes to using the LPG cylinders for domestic purposes. The Economic Affairs Ministry introduced the non-subsidized LPG cylinders.
The move is expected to enhance the distributions of subsidized LPG to the rural households and meet the current demand for such gas in the country.
If we have to avail ourselves the normal subsidized gas, then we need a consumer card. We also need the M-Coupon app installed. Moreover, most times, we do not get the cylinders on time. For the new users, we issue only 10 cylinders a day. But when it comes to the non-subsidized LPG, it is readily available because we have sufficient number of such cylinders.
Weighing the same as the normal domestic gas cylinder, the non-subsidized LPG is available in green color. Consumers can get one in exchange of the existing gas cylinders after paying the non-subsidized rate, which differs from region to region. For Thimphu residents, the refilling cost is 815 Newton. If consumers need a new non-subsidized LPG, it will cost them 1,650 Newton as one-time refundable security deposit.
We request every person who can afford to avail themselves the non-subsidized LPG. We also expect many subsidized gas cylinders to be surrendered, as this will help us distribute more subsidized LPG to the rural areas. Today, due to limited gas cylinders available, not every household in the rural areas own a gas cylinder.
For now, the non-subsidized LPG will be available in 4 tromdes of Thimphu, Phinsaling, Gelifu and Samdupjonkar. The Indian Oil Corporation Limited will deliver over 70,000 gas cylinders every month. It will be supplied through various petroleum distributors in the country. Pasang Doji, PBS News.
Kishutara, an intricately hand-woven and often considered a prestigious apparel by Bhutanese, face a serious risk as they now become easily available across the border. For instance, women in Samrup Dzongkha today enjoy choices of Kishutara at half the price of the originals, but not all of them are happy.
These women are seen excitedly trying out Kishutara in one of the shops. But this is not in Bhutan. In a small town outside Samdupjonkar, popularly known as Mela Bazar in Assam, shops here sell a plenty of Kishutara. Spurred by growing demand and its indomitable price tag in the country, most of the Bhutanese prefer buying Indian-made Kishutara. A shopkeeper in Mela Bazar sold about 30 Kishutara in the last 2 months, which indicates the popularity of the business. However, none of them were willing to share any details.
When
they produce it and sell at a low price, our Kishutara won't be fetching good price. I don't weave much, but it will definitely hamper business for those who depend on it for livelihood. I'm worried when people in India come up with this type of products. We may not get orders to weave anymore. They may make better than us, so it is really worrying.
There are no proper documentation on Kishutara. Whatever little information are available on Kishutara today are based on oral tradition and folklores. Curator with the Royal Textile Academy says long before Kishutara came into existence, Bhutanese women wore cushion similar to Kishutara. Despite the threat how technology works and put risk on this rich textile, she says hand-woven Kishutara will always have a special place in Bhutanese society.
When it's hand-woven, there's always some emotional and special value. So I think because of that also, I don't see a threat, because if you ask someone to choose between a machine-woven textile and a hand-woven piece, I'm sure they'll always pick the hand-woven piece, because so much effort, so much value, so much sentiments, it's already woven with the textile.
Although Kishutara is originally a Bhutanese, both the Copyright Act and Industrial Property Act currently do not protect this textile. According to the Department of Intellectual Property, this is because the existing IP Acts are formulated to protect new design and innovations for a limited period of time. The traditional textile patterns, such as Kishutara, do not fulfill the restoration criteria of novelty. Meanwhile, as stakeholders work closely to improve the patent laws in the country, Mela Bazar, on the other side, enjoys brisk business of Burago, Kira, Kapne and others due to Bhutanese growing demand for cheaper article of clothing. With additional information from Kilowangchuk, Sonam Phuncho, BBS News.
And that is all we have got for you this week. Details are on our website www.bbs.bt. Thank you for watching.